lives.
But still they have nuclear weapon. And I want to get back to what we started from. May I add some more information? My question is about the possible seizure of nuclear weapons in Russia. So we saw how easily Wagner passed through 600 kilometers of Russia. And how do you think, is it possible to prevent, and what scenarios might develop if our partners, our alliance, not prevent this tragic situation? In what case?
I'm sure that everybody wants to prevent a strike on Ukraine, and I can't find what they're doing on that. So like, what happened? Did they talk with him? Did they like support us, give us some protection? And others said like some strong message, like if you try to do that, so like the answer will be like that everything about like just talking blah blah blah, and they still don't believe on us, and they're like, because like the situation increasing like all the time, every second, and I think the most West countries on a position where Ukraine was last summer. So like they give us a really huge amount of weapon which we need for last summer. That's not for this current moment. So like, and now we have a new threats, nuclear weapons. They say, yes, we give you some few more Leopards. But we say like, no, now we need like protection from nuclear weapon. We need F-16. They say, yes, we know. Just give us like one and a half year. So like everything what we receive now, we need last year. And now we have a new challenges, but they don't answer for that. So like, that is a big problem, but in the same time, I see how the Western people support us. Yeah. That is like incredible. They open their homes for Ukrainians. That was like when Ukraine entered EU, when European people open their homes, and it gives them like, that is your bed, that is your kitchen, like that is your food, and I share with you like everything what I have. So like that was amazing, but the politician is like more slowly, and like that is like slow motion period, like in our negotiation about the money, about the weapon, about like political support and the military support. So now our new challenge and like constant challenge, like nuclear weapon, what they did give us to win this war.
If they are still observing the crazy man in Kremlin playing with nuclear weapons, they still observing how Prigozhin threatened to grab this nuclear weapon. We still observing, and they still observing how Belarus is showing off that they have this nuclear weapon as well. But on the other hand, we have Zaporizhia nuclear plants here in Ukraine. And I want to remind our audience, and you remember about that, the US Senate proposed considering Russia's use of nuclear weapons against Ukraine as an attack on NATO. And possible destroying of Zaporizhia nuclear power plants will be the same case for them to use the power of NATO.
I read that message from Lindsey Graham. He's like fantastic one, and that is like a really strong idea. That is like really American, Western strong idea. But that, for this current moment, is just a draft of law. That's just a draft. So like, when they vote for that in their parliament, and it's become like a really law, and will be operated by NATO office, so that would be great. So that would be like a real message to Russia, to China, for everybody. They're just, guys, keep calm and forget about your nuclear weapon terrorism. And they say like, yes, we know, that is more than understandable. But for this current moment, it's just a draft, and like, but the idea and the proposition are like really brilliant, and it's really nice. And yes, he is a good guy. I love him. He came to Kyiv, so like after visiting Kyiv, like every politician in the West becomes stronger and better. So like I think we need to invite everybody here. So like, and just like to make more conferences, more summits, more meetings here in the front line in Kyiv, in Kherson, in Bakhmut, and in many other cities. And That is a point. And I think like why the West is so strong is not centralized. It's not like Russia. You have Putin leave Moscow, so like Moscow collapsed. Like in democracies, like you have like hundreds of MPs. You may have like a different president, different prime ministers. You may have different, even political allies also, like because that is institutions and that is institutions and that is a system how it works. But in Russia, you have only one man who rule everything, and then when he dies, or everything collapses, or when he leaves, and everything is collapsed. So like, I think the chance of West to win is like 10 times bigger because we are like we are not a vertical. We're like very horizontal societies, and like all the time horizontal societies win. So like I believe in that because like more brains working for victory than in their dictator side. So like that is good.
My last very short question to you will be grounding on the speech of President of Kazakhstan when he answered one of the journalists' question about if Kazakhstan needs any nuclear weapon. He said, no, we don't need nuclear weapon because we understand what's the main for us, and it's not making nuclear weapon and taking part in any war. So understandable. How do you think the world after the end of war in Ukraine and the nuclear program around the world will be just wider, or on the contrary, countries would understand how frightened it is and get back to the period of Reagan, for example?
I think the problem is not a nuclear weapon. The problem is a lack of democracy in some countries.
That's true.
If Russia re-elects Medvedev or any other president and then didn't give access to this crazy dictator to back him for like 20 or 30 years, we in this current moment we will sit in very different situation. So that is not about a weapon. That is like about a lack of democracy. So we need to invest in democracy in the world. We need to support some like institutions as a freedom of speech and like political parties and many others. And that is the answer, because like a weapon is a tool, how to use it to protect or to attack. And like stupid dictators, of course, use it to attack. And like now we need to protect. And but like we need to work with the territories in the future. We need to change them, and we need better to prevent some problem than to resolve it. So like that is the answer.